Listening to the Good Morning Gwinnett Show, hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney, bringing you your morning dose of business and technology, Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Be sure to subscribe now so you never miss an episode. District Attorney Patsy Austin Gatson, the first African American and woman DA in Gwinnett County, and her team are transforming justice. Championing equity and effective prosecution, they've achieved an 80% murder conviction rate and a 90% success rate in drug and gang task force cases, notably against fentanyl. Vote for a safer Gwinnett County. Paid for by the committee to re-elect Patsy Austin Gatson for District Attorney.
Good morning, all my Gwinnetians out there in Gwinnett land and all of my friends around the world. It's a nice day here in Gwinnett County. A little bit breezy, a little bit chilly. 24 degrees going up to a high of 40. But here's the crazy part, right? By Wednesday, the weather is going to be lovely. Like, it's going to be like around 60. So it's going to be beautiful. So welcome to your daily dose of business and technology. I'm your host, Audrey Bell Kearney. Guys, hope you had a wonderful weekend. I had a pretty interesting weekend, which was part of my weekend was my meeting I had yesterday, which is how I got the topic of this discussion. And so I want to talk about that today. So today I'm talking about hustling hard, but how to hustle hard with intention. And this is something that I've had to learn. But I think yesterday I was a little bit not triggered, but I was a little bit. I was kind of sad for the person. I'll tell you the story in a second. And then I'm going to go to some ways that you can hustle hard with intentions, because a lot of times we're just hustling hard and there's no intention behind the hustle. So I sit on the board of two nonprofits here in Georgia. And yesterday we had a board meeting, and the owner of the nonprofit, the founder of the nonprofit, she was there. And, we were talking about the plans for 2024 for the nonprofit. It's a nonprofit that services children, which, the youth. I'm always happy to support that. And so, but I'm just happy to support nonprofits in general. So anyway, we were having a discussion, and, she's very passionate about her nonprofit. And she's an older woman. She's like in her 70s. And she has more energy than me. I'm going to say that. She's very spry. And she's very passionate about the audience that she served, which is children. And so we were there, and, I know how hard she worked for that organization. Like, I've known her now probably about 3 years. I know how hard she works. No, about 2 years. I know how hard she works for, well, it may have been 3 years. I think it might have been 3 years. How hard she works for her organization. And she works hard, and trying to find a good board and good people to support you is always hard. So we were having our meeting. It was like an all-day retreat. So it was from 9 to we left out of there at 6 o'clock. And so she got really upset because one of the board members said something that wasn't really a bad thing. Wasn't bad at all, actually. But it triggered her. And, she was talking about how hard she worked and, she's so tired and things like that. And I think what at that moment, I kind of stopped talking and went silent, because I was like, I'm not going to say anything, because I'll say things that just like her meant for good, but people take it the wrong way because they're triggered. And she was triggered, and she was triggered, and she got really upset and flustered, and and then she kind of, after she did that, it kind of triggered the person that said it, but she still remained very calm. But then later on at the end of the meeting, she was talking about, how passionate she is about the organization, how much work and time she's put into the organization. And it made me think about the topic of discussion today, which was how to hustle hard with intention. And sometimes you think you have intention, but you really don't have intention, right? You're just doing a lot of busy work. So what I suggested was, I was like, look, this is the number one issue we have right now with the organization. How about we spend the next 30 days, all of us, and the only focus is this one thing, right? Because at the end of the day, if we get this one thing accomplished, which is like major, it will set the course for the other things. I said, so let's get this one group of things. So it was three things that needed to be done. They all work together. And if we all just focus on those three things, that will help us get to this one goal, everything else will kind of probably flow a little bit smoother, because that one goal was the thing that was kind of holding everything else back, right? So I said, listen, this is what we should do. We should focus on this one goal for the next 30 days, all of us collectively. Let's focus on the one goal. Let's hit that one goal. If we hit that one goal, it's going to set the course for the rest of the goals. And everybody said, okay. But about 5 to 10 minutes later, it was a whole nother conversation about something else that had nothing to do with the goal. And I said, remember what we just talked about, this one goal for the next 30 days. This is what we need to focus on. Everybody need to focus on this one goal. It's not going to happen. So when I'm thinking about that and I'm watching the situation, I stopped at that point. I was like, look, I'm just a board member. In my mind, I'm thinking I'm just a board member trying to support. And if you don't want to listen to what we're saying, then you're going to be hustling hard without intention. I know your heart is good. I know your intention is to serve this organization, but you're just hustling hard blindly. And that has been the problem. And I know that's been the problem because I've been on the board for a year. So we set goals. We have the same meeting over and over and over again. It's the same meeting. And so it's like, okay, so when do you stop and listen so we can accomplish something? So that's why I decided to title this episode this morning, How to Hustle with Intention. You can hustle hard if that's what you choose to do, but make it with intention. So the first thing you got to do is define the hustle. Now I got 12 tips here, but I'm only going to do 5 or 6. The first one, and the rest of them be on the website. So if you want the rest of them, go to goodmorninggwinnett.com after the show and you'll get the rest of them. The first one is defining what the hustle actually is. See, for me, when I was talking yesterday, it was one goal. That was the hustle for the month. That was the 30-day hustle, right? I like that. I need to do something with that. That was the 30-day hustle. Let's hustle for this thing together for the next 30 days. Because I believe in my heart of hearts, if we accomplish that one goal, everything else will fall into place, because a lot of what was needed was predicated really on that one goal. So how about we focus? So define the hustle. That's the first thing, right? What are you hustling for? I'm talking about the real hustle. I get the organization. I get it's your business. I'm hustling for my business, right? But how about chunk down your hustle into like 30-day hustles, right? Because at the end of the day, if you accomplish the main thing first or set this one goal first, and I'll give you a prime example. So I'm launching a new podcast. It's all AI. The whole thing is AI. It's not me talking, but I'm so excited about it. And the reason I decided to do it was because I'm in the solar business. I'm a solar panel brokerage, right? I have a solar panel brokerage firm. I'm a solar panel broker, right? And I don't have time to go out and try to knock on people's doors and sell stuff. But I do have this podcast that I do religiously. So I thought about, well, how about if I created a podcast just to promote my solar panels? Now, it's a great concept. I know it is. Now, I'm not saying it just because I did it. But my goal is, for the next 90 days, I'm going to do Good Morning Gwinnett. And then every day, for the next 90 days, I'm going to do an episode of that podcast to go out. Every day. Listen to what I say. Every day. So I'll be doing 2 podcasts. Good Morning Gwinnett, 4 days a week. And for the next 90 days, I will do an episode of my new podcast every day. Now, I'm going to continue to do that because it's a 365-day podcast. That's a lot of work. But here's the thing. I know my goal. So the crazy part to that is that in setting up the podcast idea, it spent me off into something else that my husband and I have decided to partner on. And I'm excited about that because we haven't been able to really partner on anything in quite some time. So we had a brainstorming session on Saturday. We had another brainstorming session yesterday. And we're both excited about our new venture. So the podcast idea spun off into a new venture that my husband and I are going to be joint venture partners on, which is exciting for us. And but the other thing too is to make sure my new newsletter has every episode that I'm going to produce. Good Morning Gwinnett, all of my new podcast episodes, some other people podcast episodes. It's all going to be in this one newsletter. So for the next 90 days, I'm producing episodes and I'm learning about newsletter marketing. Because now listen, newsletters not new. They're not new. They've been around for years. And I had a newsletter back in 1994, I think it was. It was called Friends of Mine. But it was when it was just paper. And then it moved over to digital. So anyway, I digress. Define what your hustle is, right? That way, when you define what the hustle is, you're moving with intention towards that thing. Now, I would challenge you to break down your hustle into these 30-day intentions, right? So the next thing is setting clear intentions. So you got to set some clear intentions. Like, okay, so yesterday, in my mind, So let me just say what we needed. It was money. She needed to raise funds for a lot of money. She needed to raise a lot of money. So I created her a journal for the organization. And the next step for me was, let's put the journal on Amazon. That was the next step. How many people on your newsletter? These were my questions. How many people do you have on your newsletter? Over 4,000. All right. Can we access the newsletter? Can't find the login. Okay, we got to find the login so we can have access to the newsletter. That's the next step. Next step, after we find a login for the newsletter, because she is a nonprofit, I found out yesterday, which I did not know, that Google gives you $10,000 a month in free advertising to nonprofits. I was like, what? How long have we known this? Since last year. Why haven't we used this? I forgot. This is the person it was crazy. The meeting was crazy. So in my mind, let's get the newsletter set up. Let's get the book on Amazon, and let's launch some ads for the journal that's on Amazon to create some traffic to the book so people can buy the book. Put the book inside the newsletter, send it to the 4,000 people that have supported you. Hey, this is our new fundraiser. Buy the book on Amazon. Amazon prints the book and ship it out. To me, that's a 90-day plan. If Google is giving me $10,000 a month in free advertising, that is a 90-day plan. Matter of fact, that could be a whole year. Because I said, is it every month or is it $10,000 one time? He said $10,000 every month. $10,000 from Google and free ads? What? That was my plan. So even though that's the plan that I laid out for the organization for the next 30 days, I'm almost positive that plan is not going to go through, because the people have not defined what the hustle was. What's the goal? The intention is like, I need money, right? But you haven't set any clear mindset, any clear path to what that is. So I set the path, and then as soon as I said it, 5 to 10 minutes later, it was they were on another path. I'm looking like, wait a minute. Didn't we just say this? Anyway, you got to define what your hustle is, right? What you're hustling for. You got to set some very clear intentions, right? Because this is important. Why are you hustling, right? And I think, at the end of the day, what's the end goal? And I heard what she said. Her goal was, I need to get a building. That's going to cost a lot of money. I want to get a building to buy so we never have to move out again. Her organization has been displaced a couple of times for various different reasons because of landlord issues. I think one building burned down. So it was like things like that. So she was very, she was upset about that. And just, I need money. Well, this is how we're going to do it. So you got to have the goal. And then you got to have that hustle mindset, right? Listen, anybody that knows me know I have the hustle mindset. I do. Matter of fact, I can't turn it off. I try to turn it off. But you have to have a hustle mindset. When I say that, you got to have that can-do attitude. When people throw obstacles, and she has it now. Don't get it twisted. She has that. She has the hustle mindset. She will talk to anybody. She will call anybody. That she has. I think her intentions are kind of clear. I just think that she hasn't defined the hustle yet. And for me giving her the hustle, which was this is the blueprint for what you got to do to get to the intention, because you have the mindset. Now, the other part of having a mindset is being able to listen, right? It's being able to listen and being able to hear other people's sides so you can make really good decisions, right? Because she has what it takes. She's resilient. She's motivated. She doesn't mind calling people. She has that can-do attitude. And she doesn't like when people say you can't do something. Even when it's like can't, even when we don't say can't, it's a challenge. Like, let's think about this a different way. She doesn't like that because she believes that everything can be done. And that's a good way to be, but sometimes you have to step back for a second and look at the reality of the situation. That's all a part of having a hustle mindset. Yes, go out there and do what you got to do, no matter what. That part too. But sometimes you got to make. And I'm gonna say this. One of the other boards I sit on is a nonprofit. She always says this, like the founder of that nonprofit. She said, "You got to use wisdom." She says that all the time. She's like, "Yep, you got to use wisdom." So sometimes you have to use wisdom, right? So 1, define the hustle. 2, set clear intentions for the hustle. 3, have the hustle mindset. All right. I'm gonna go to a song. I'll be right back after the song to bring you the next 3 in this episode of listen, keep it going. How to hustle hard with intention. I'll be right back. Stay tuned.
romantic dream at midnight. So hard to please. Drowning in my fears is like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder. You know, sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the low, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark, and maybe just a better kind of bitter, 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 bitter. Think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby. Ooh, think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby. Ooh, think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby. Ooh, think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby.
Welcome back. It's your girl Audrey Bell Kearney. You're listening to the Good Morning Gwinnett Show, your daily dose of business and technology. I'm trying to get used to saying that, y'all, because y'all know I've been saying something else for the last 5 years. Today we're talking about how to hustle hard with intention. Now we're going to talk about planning the hustle, right? So you have identified the goals. Your goal is to hustle for this thing, right? Now you got to figure out what the strategy is behind that. So before the song, I talked about the strategy that I laid out for the board that I sit on yesterday. So her goal was to raise money. She has a bunch of goals, but the main goal that was really important, like right now, was raising money. So, nonprofits, a lot of times, one of the biggest issues they face is really funding. So the goal was to raise some money. And so I said, well, we have this journal. The journal can go on Amazon. From there, we can put a link to the journal inside the newsletter that can go out to 4,000 people every day if you wanted to, because it's 4,000 people on the newsletter. And then the other part to that was the organization was approved for $10,000 a month in free Google ad spend. So we had to find someone who knows how to run Google ads, which we did that. So that's the strategy. So let's run Google ads to the journal, right? Let's put the link in the newsletter. Let's also share the links on our phone. So because with Amazon, if you go to Amazon.com, you click a product, click a book, whatever it is, Amazon has a little arrow that allows you to share. And you can hit that arrow and share with everybody in your phone. Everybody. You can just hit the arrow and hit share and click on the people you want to share it with and share the link. So it's easy for you to click that link, share it with people in your phone and say, hey, this is our new journal. And in a way to support the organization, please purchase one. And guess what's going to happen? Amazon's going to print the book. It's going to send it to the customer. And then at the end of the month, you're going to get the money. That was a strategy. Now, that may not be your strategy, but you have to come up with a strategy. So you got the goal. You know what the goal is, right? You know what you're aiming for. You're clear about that. You got the hustle mentality, the mindset. You got all of that. Now you just got to break it down into small little steps like that. So that was 3 or 4 steps. Step 1, let's get the newsletter on track. Let's find the login for the newsletter, right? You need the login. And this is for yesterday. This is your steps may be something totally different. I'm just telling you the steps that we did yesterday. Find the newsletter login. Also, put the book on Amazon, share it with people in your network, and run these ads. 4 steps. That's the strategy. For me, with my new podcast, I'm going to share the steps that I'm doing to get it out there. So I'm a solar broker. I have a solar company that I just launched. I'm a solar broker. And I had a couple of different steps. So my husband and I, we've been working on this together. So one of the things we did was he made a bunch of flyers and laminated them that we're going to stick in certain places. Why? Because this is a way for people who have homes, they may want solar energy. So he's out way more than I am out, because I'm always working behind the scenes. He's out at different stores, the grocery store, the gas station. He's out way more than me. So we're going to stick these flyers on boards and places we can stick them. Now, he has a store that he goes to all the time. They know him. When I go in there, they'll say, where is he at? This is how much they know him, right? They'll ask for him when I go into the store, and I say, oh, either his birthday or he's not feeling well, something like that, because I don't hardly ever go in the store. But when they do see me, they know who I am, and when they do see me, they ask, where is he? So he's going to put one in the store there. We're going to get banners made, and I'm going to go to different locations, say, hey, can I leave this banner here so people can just scan a code or something, to text a number. That's part of my strategy for my solar brokerage. The other part of my strategy for my solar brokerage is to produce these podcast episodes to go along with the solar business. They're not going to be educational. They're going to be entertaining, right? Because I want people to fall in love with the podcast. So the commercial for the episode will always be heard, because I want them to love what I'm saying. I want them to love the podcast. So every day they want to listen to the next episode. Every day they listen to a new episode. But what's happening is there will be a commercial that plays at the beginning of every episode promoting my solar business. Then I'm going to take those episodes and I'm going to put them in a newsletter. And then I'm going to do newsletter advertising to get more traffic to the newsletter. I'm also going to pass out flyers wherever I go, or business cards about the newsletter. Why? Because not only can I put the episode in the newsletter, I could put a live link back to my solar brokerage site where they can go and click on the solar brokerage site, and now they can look at more about the solar panels. So you see, that's the strategy. So you have to have, and that's a 30-day strategy. For me, it's 90 days. Because in 90 days, my goal is to land 10 clients. 10 new solar clients. And then after that, my next 90-day goal is to build my team. So my first 90-day goal is to get my newsletter and all that stuff set up, and to land my first 10 residential home clients, right? That's the first goal. The next goal after that, the rest of the time, is to go and build a team of agents. That's the next goal. But I need to know what I'm doing first. So when I build my team of agents, I can coach them. I can't coach them if I've never done the thing. You have to do the thing first. So for me, I have to get clients first so I can understand what the process looks like. So when my team runs into a problem, I can answer the problem. So that's why my first goal, my first 90-day goal, is to get my first 10 clients so I can walk through. I figure by the 10 clients, I should be able to walk through the process of signing up somebody for panels and understanding kilowatts and all that kind of stuff. I should be able to do that. Now, this is just me. For some people, it may take more. So for some people, it may take 3. For me, I'm giving myself 10 clients because I feel like with 10 clients, I'm going to get questions from 10 different homeowners about these solar panels that I don't know. And then I can answer those questions and go back when I have a team and say, okay, this is what happened when I did it, right? So that's the strategy. You have to create a strategy. You got the goal. You got the hustle. You set the intention. Now you have to have a good strategy. This is a big one. This next one is a big one. Time management. How are you going to manage all of this stuff? Because here's what's going to happen. If you don't set some kind of time management variables in place, you will not do anything. I have a pattern of what I do every day. Every morning, I get up, I write the daily inspiration article. It goes, now let me just say this. I'm going to go back for a second. I have a plan for this show. I forgot to do the newsletter yesterday. You know why? Because I got knocked off my plan because I stayed extra time at the meeting for the nonprofit. I got home extremely late. I was hungry. My husband wanted to go to dinner, and I forgot to do the newsletter. When I'm not distracted, which I should have set a timer to say, write the newsletter. When I woke up this morning, I said, guess what I'll do from now on? From now on, every Sunday, I will put a timer on my phone so that I never forget to publish the newsletter. And I was like, crap. But my day started, I left home yesterday I had to be there at 9 o'clock. I left about 7:50 because I knew I might run into traffic. It was almost an hour drive, and I hate being late. So I left early. So I was gone early in the morning, And by the time my husband and I got back from dinner, it was like 8:30. So from like 7:50 yesterday to 8:30, by the time I stopped, I was exhausted and forgot about the newsletter. What I will do moving forward is set a timer on my phone for every Sunday, because I do my newsletter every Sunday, so it'll go out 6 o'clock on Monday morning. I forgot because I had so much going on. I said to myself this morning, that will never happen again, because you're going to set a timer on your phone every Sunday at 9 o'clock. If I have not written that newsletter, I will get an alarm, because by 9 o'clock, I'm ready to go to bed on Sundays. I'm going to set the alarm, and it's going to say, do the newsletter. And if I've done it, then I'll just I'll hit stop. If I have not done it, I will get out the bed and go do the newsletter. So time management is going to be extremely important. Now, I'm pretty good with managing my time most days because things are on my calendar. So I'm pretty good about that. So you got to get good at time management. And here's the thing. Use your phone. Like, I use my calendar. My phone is so crazy. It's all color-coded. My calendar is color-coded. It's got like green, yellow, pink, orange, purples, gold. But I color code, so I know what's what, when I'm supposed to do certain things, what video I need to watch, all this kind of stuff. It's color coded like that. But normally I'm so good about doing my newsletter, I figured I didn't need to put that on the list. But I see yesterday I missed it. I need to put it on the list. So learn how to manage your time. Now, there are some great tools out there for time management, like Slack and Trello and Asana. You can use all of these tools, to manage your time. That way you can be more effective. You can prioritize your tasks. You can set deadlines for yourself. It's going to eliminate distractions. Like yesterday was a total distraction for me, so I forgot to do my newsletter. That won't happen again, because from today moving forward, I will put an alarm that goes off every Sunday at 9 o'clock at night. So before I go to sleep, my newsletter should be done, right? And here's the last one, y'all. Consistency. Ooh-wee. You got to be consistent, right? Even if you say, you know what, I'm going to work Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, be consistent Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you're going to work Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, be consistent. But remember, the less days you work, the longer it's going to take to get to your goal. So if you have a 30-day goal and you're taking off, 4 days out the week, just know your 90 days is going to take a little bit longer. If you say, okay, I'm working 5 days a week and this is what I'm doing, then the 90 days is a little bit shorter. If you say, you know what, this is only for 90 days, I'm going 7 days hard. 7 days hard a week until I get to that 90 days. Now your 90 days is a little bit quicker. Now you're at 3 months versus 120 days versus 46 months because you took days off in the middle. Whatever you decide, just understand that you have to be consistent. You have to show up. You have to have a steady process towards your goals. You have to do that. Monday through Thursday, you hear my voice. You've heard my voice Monday through Thursday almost 6 years. Over 1,445 episodes, you've heard my voice Monday through Thursday. That's consistency. And you have to be that way because people are counting on you, but you need to show up for yourself. You want to hit this goal, you got to show up for yourself. My 90-day goal right now is to do these episodes every day so that I can land my first 10 deals so that the rest of this year I'm focused on creating a team. And to me that's doable because I know that after my show, I normally do the article for the website, and that takes a long time because I got to do all the SEO and all that kind of stuff, link backlinks, all this kind of stuff. I have to make sure that the article is right. So I do the Good Morning Gwinnett. Then I go to the Good Morning Gwinnett website to do articles, update articles, make sure everything has a graphic to it. If it don't, I have to create the graphics. Like I have this RSS feed that feeds under my lifestyle section on my website. And it does that, and I like it because I don't have to worry about that section too much, right? The problem with that is sometimes it'll feed in and there's no graphic. And then if it feeds a whole bunch of articles over the weekend, I wake up Monday morning and I have like 4 blank spaces where there should be a graphic. Well, guess what I got to do? I have to create a graphic. So now I got to create graphics. So my day is set up like that. I come in. Now, if I worked on the weekend, like really worked on the weekend, that probably be eliminated. And I'm probably going to figure out how to eliminate that anyway because that drives me crazy. So, but I know that once I finish the show, I do the article, I post the links on YouTube, I post the link on Instagram, I post the link on LinkedIn. This is my blueprint. This is how I work. And then after I do all of that stuff, Then I go have brunch because by the time I get done, it's brunch. Then I go have brunch. And then I come back and I start doing other stuff. But that's me being consistent. That's me being consistent. So you got to be consistent. I hope this helped you. I hope this helped you with setting a good intention for the rest of your year. But break it down in chunks, Do it, hustle with intention, but break your intention down in chunks. Because that way you can see how to accomplish something a little bit more clearer when the big picture is not overshadowing everything. Because some people can't think big picture. And then some people, that's the only way they do think is big picture. But if you know that you're not the person that can think big picture and it stresses you out and then nothing gets done, then change the way you look at that stuff. Break it down into small chunks, and that way it's small. All right? All right, that's all I got for you today. But before I go, I want to give you my words of inspiration. I thought this was a good word. It says, it always seems impossible until it's done. I'm going to say it one more time because somebody missed it. It always seems impossible until it's done. Nelson Mandela said that, and he was absolutely right. Yes, I'm talking about hustling hard, and sometimes you look at that thing and like, man, this is impossible. I can't get this done. But until it's done, it's no longer impossible. But the way to get it done is to get her done. That's the way to get it done. Listen, thank you for listening. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you spent the last 32 minutes with me, and I love and appreciate you for that. If you missed any episodes of this show, be sure to go to goodmorninggwinnett.com to listen to all past episodes and connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn at Good Morning Gwinnett. That's where you'll find me. I will be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. God willing. You guys stay safe out there. And until next time, my friends, make it a great day. Bye, y'all.
You've been listening to the Good Morning Gwinnett Show, hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney, bringing you your morning dose of business and technology Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe today and share it with a friend so you never miss an episode. For past episodes, visit us on the web at www.goodmorninggwinnett.com.